Hey, everybody. It is Bishop Megan Rohr, and I am excited to see you this evening as we take a little time to be in prayer with each other. Take a second and calm your hearts and calm your minds and get ready for a little time of centering. Thank you for joining me this evening. I know it's a little earlier than normal, but I am on Central Time and we'll be doing an additional live stream with folk from Grace Cathedral. So thank you for popping on for prayer a little bit early. If you would like to lift up prayers that are public, you can type them in the comments here on whatever social streaming media you are in. If you have a private prayer that you don't want to share with the whole world, you can send it to me through direct message or through email. All right, ready? Loving God, be with us tonight as we join together in prayer, as we care for those who you have named and claimed and loved. We pray first for those who are leaders in the church. We pray for bishops. We pray for Bishop Eaton, the presiding bishop of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Hagmeyer, the bishop of the South Dakota Synod. We pray for bishops in all of the 95 synods and all who have leadership roles, assistants to the bishops and deacons. We pray for synod councils. We pray for church councils. We pray for pastors and all who are leading congregations. We pray for those who unclog toilets, those who serve as treasurers, those who are caring for the world. We pray for love and hope and light, and particularly for the leaders of congregations or lay evangelists who are tired, those who are wondering if there is money to keep going, those who are wondering if the building is going to hold out, those who are tired of all of the changes that the pandemic has brought, and all who are continuing to worship and pray and ponder and be present with and for God in all the ways that they are. God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. We pray for all who lead cities or who are a part of governments. We pray for those who make laws, those who enforce laws. We pray for first responders, those who work in hospitals, those who help with plumbing and water lines and zoos, those who help to make cities fun, those who work in circus tents and who help to make parks function well. We pray for those who clean toilets. We pray for those who are working to pick up trash. We pray for all who are so often showing up to work unnoticed and unprayed for typically. We pray for those who stock shelves, those who pack groceries, those who work registers, those who take tickets, those who drive buses, those who repair machines, and for all who are in need of care this day. God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. We pray for all who work in schools. We pray for teachers. We pray for janitors. We pray for classmates and for classes, particularly those who are feeling overwhelmed. We pray for professors. We pray for presidents of colleges. We pray for those sports teams at schools. We pray for the folk at Augustana University and the groundbreaking of their new hockey stadium. We pray for all who are worried about tuition payments and those who are trying to pay off student loan debt. We pray for those who are applying and not certain if they should choose to go back to school. We pray especially for special education teachers and those who do translations, those who do ASL, and those who work mightily to make sure that there are the fewest distractions possible for as many kids as possible. God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. We pray for those who are in need of housing. We pray for the homeless and hungry. We pray for those who are social workers and therapists, those who are in the mental health field. We pray for parents who have spent too many hours in hospitals this week because people have tried to harm themselves. We pray for all who are weary and tired and not sure where hope and joy live because it's been a while since they've seen it. And we pray for all who are working mightily for their own recovery, for their own wellness. We pray for those who are in therapy and the therapists. We pray for those who are seeing chiropractors, and we pray for massage therapists, and we pray for everyone who helps to put wellness into the world. Particularly this week, we pray for the leaders and speakers and the organizers of the professional the Professional Leadership Conference for our Sierra Pacific Synod. God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. We have a special prayer for sons. We pray for Cynthia's son. We pray for Melva's son, and for college students and parents and staff and teachers. We pray for all who are celebrating Pride in October. We pray for all who are lifting up love and support. And we pray especially for those in need of healthcare, for those who are in the process of dying, that their death may be smooth and as pain-free as possible. We pray for those who are grieving, that their mourning may not be too lonely, that the feeling of being alone in a crowd may dissolve, and that they may have moments of connection in this new way that they celebrate and care for those they love. We pray for those who are affected by COVID, those who are working on vaccinations for COVID. We pray for Melissa's mother-in-law who is in the ICU with pneumonia and needs prayers. We pray for Jensen and her boyfriend, Jake, and Melissa's father-in-law who also have COVID. We pray for all who are doing their best but do not feel like it is paying off. We pray for all who are weary and tired, that they and all of us may have as much health as possible for as long as possible. Bring an end to this pandemic, abolish cancer forever, and help us to be people who are choosing the least amount of stress, choosing the least amount of pain, choosing the least amount of consequences in all that we do for ourselves and for our neighbors. God, surround us with a balm of healing and love beyond our deserving. Help there be as many ICUs as needed for all who need them. We pray especially for chaplains who work in hospitals and on military bases. We pray for those who are deployed overseas or who are working on ships in the ocean. We pray for those who are far from homelands or whose homelands do not feel safe. We pray for those, especially in Afghanistan and Haiti, those who have experienced disaster, those who continue to struggle with the ravages of wildfires, and those who continue to rebuild after things get broken through natural disasters. We pray for those who are plagued by human-made disasters like gun violence and racism. And may we be people who are speaking out as often as needed for as many people as we are able. Give us rest when we need it, and communities that are able to continuously ensure that the ever-flowing stream of justice is something that is palpable and present and possible for all. God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. We lift these things up and all of the things that we hold silently in our hearts and maybe don't want to pray publicly, because we know that we have a God who is loving, who yearns for the best in us, even when we're not sure how to make that happen. I am sending out love and prayers of thanksgiving to a God who dwells with us, who longs for our betterment, and who sometimes kicks us in the backside to move us towards justice we aren't quite ready for. May our prayers rise like incense, and may our lives be a reflection of the one who has traveled through life, death, and resurrection, and be a living embodiment of the hands and feet of Jesus Christ. Amen. Take care, y'all. I love you, and I'm praying for you. Good night.